Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Welcome to Site 24 Cross 7. I'm Subhashri and I will be hosting this webinar today along with Harshita, our technical expert. As you all know, today's session will be on mastering log monitoring, strategies for enhanced application failure troubleshooting. Please wait till the end of the session to raise your queries. Before we get started, let me confirm that all of you can view our presentation window and I'm audible and clear to all. If there is an issue, please ping over in the chat window. Let's begin by taking a look at the agenda for this webinar. I will give you a sneak peek into what we'll be covering today. First, I will introduce you to Site 24 Cross 7, our monitoring tool, and explain how it can benefit your IT environment. Next, we'll delve into IAS logs, exploring what they contain and why they are important. We'll also discuss the challenges that often come with analyzing these logs. I'll explain how Site 24 Cross 7 can help you analyze logs for better monitoring using a real-time use case and provide you with a few useful queries to perform. We'll finish with a question and answer session during which you can actively post your questions in the chat box. Our tech expert will answer them at the end of the session. For all those who are not familiar with Site 24 Cross 7, let me give a brief introduction. Zoho's IT management arm Manage Engine began developing Site 24 Cross 7 in 2007, more than 15 years ago, to cater to the needs of a rapidly emerging cloud-centric IT environment. Now, Site 24 Cross 7 has evolved into an AOps-powered digital experience monitoring, ITOM, and observability solution for companies of all sizes, which include startups, SMBs, and several Fortune 500 companies as well. Site 24 Cross 7 is an all-in-one monitoring solution that provides monitoring and observability for different components that run your IT, be it websites at the front end or the servers, applications, and the network at the back end. Site 24 Cross 7 has got everything covered. This doesn't stop here. Site 24 Cross 7 covers all your virtualization platforms, cloud or containers, and provides single console monitoring irrespective of where they are deployed. It also analyzes server and application logs for better troubleshooting. Site 24 Cross 7 is not only an all-in-one monitoring tool, but a comprehensive solution as well. Let me start by asking you a few questions. Are you facing frequent application failures and are unsure about the causes affecting your web service performance? Do you find your web pages loading slowly, impacting user experience, but struggle to identify the underlying issue? Are you facing unexpected delays in your web application's response time? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you have come to the right place. In this webinar, we'll discuss the challenges of managing and analyzing web server logs and attempt to find solutions to these issues. Unresponsive and slow pages are detrimental to any website. Even if the website has the best user interface, these issues can negatively impact the customer experience and damage the brand's reputation. So if your page takes more than a few seconds to load, it's time you check your web server logs. Among popular web servers like IAS, Apache HTTP Server, Nginx, Apache Tomcat, and others, let's focus on IAS access logs for today's topic. What are IAS logs? As many are aware, Internet Information Services is a native web server for hosting websites on Windows platforms while incorporating multiple components to manage requests efficiently. From a DevOps perspective, the most valuable insights are derived from the logs generated by IAS. Here's a sample IAS logs entry that you can refer to. Notably, IAS access logs capture various aspects of web application access, such as user visiting pages, client IPs, browser details, response times, status code, and much more. What are the challenges in log analysis? Analyzing logs can present several challenges, and one of the most significant obstacles is managing the vast amount of generated log data. The process of searching and analyzing logs is not a simple task, as it's impossible for a person to sift through millions of log lines from different servers to find crucial information in the data pipe. Moreover, logs comes in various formats, which makes deciphering these formats and extracting relevant information complex. Additionally, integrating IAS logs with other metrics such as server performance or application metrics poses a challenge, but is crucial for gaining comprehensive insights into system behavior. So, how do you overcome these challenges? Well, you need a centralized platform to manage and analyze large volumes of log data effectively and efficiently. And that's where Site 24 Cross 7 comes in. Site 24 Cross 7 centralized cloud log management automatically recognize all your application logs, offering out-of-the-box support for more than 100 applications and custom logs. Using our log management tool, you can collect, combine, index, analyze, and manage logs from various servers, applications, and log framework. You can configure log-based alerts and receive them via third-party tools to notify you of any issues in advance. Variety automation helps you auto-resolve application problems, saving you time and resources. Our scalability to manage terabytes of logs enables you to keep going when you keep growing. It not only ensures effective log handling, but also empowers you to monitor the availability and performance of your IES servers seamlessly. So let me quickly take you through the Site 24 Cross 7 portal for a demo. As soon as you log into the portal, go to the server and select Microsoft IES server. So here is our IES monitoring solution, allowing you to actively track the availability and performance of your IES servers and get real-time insights into server performance, timely alerts for potential issues, comprehensive tracking of key server metrics, and obtain metrics like network statistics, request statistics, connection statistics, user statistics, cache memory usage, cache hits, and so on. You can also set thresholds for all the attributes and get notified when the threshold is crossed. So with detailed insights and reports, you can make sure your IES servers run smoothly, improving user experience and keeping your services dependable. Okay, another question for you. Are the IES server monitoring metrics sufficient? Or do you need much more to dig out the problem? For example, look at this data. It's where you can see a spike in the request time during this period. High response time are typically a sign of a bottleneck that's slowing down website performance. But here is the thing. How do you figure out which transaction is causing the sudden spike? Well, that's where logs come into play. So look at this widget, response time stats. Response time stats offer a detailed breakdown and analysis of the time it takes for your web server to respond to incoming requests. This gives you a holistic view of how efficiently your web server handles requests, allowing you to pinpoint areas for improvement. Additionally, you have status code stats revealing the distribution of status codes, the top 20 failed requests highlighting critical errors, and the top 20 slowest requests pinpointing the transactions causing slowness. These are log-specific widgets and will be visible only when you configure IES access logs. AppLogs is a Site 24 Cross 7 log management service that helps you upload and manage your logs across all your infrastructure, all on a single dashboard. We will discuss failure and slowness in detail in the upcoming slide, providing a thorough understanding of these issues. First, let's talk about status code 500 and how we can troubleshoot using application logs. The HTTP status code 500, also known as the internal server error, indicates that the server has encountered an unexpected condition that prevented it from fulfilling the request made by the client. This error status code is generic and does not provide specific details about the exact nature of the problem. So when a server returns 500, it essentially signifies that something has gone wrong on the server's end and it is unable to process a request. This error could be caused by a wide range of issues such as misconfigurations, programming errors, or problems with the server's resources or infrastructure. Further investigation and troubleshooting are typically required to identify the root cause of the internal server error. So let's return to our client and see how to identify the root cause of a 500 error using logs. So let's go to the status code start widgets and I'm clicking this data. So if you want to check which URI failed frequently, you can group them by stem URI. So you can see that this specific URI, check availability, has failed frequently. Analyzing such frequent failures in this specific URI provides crucial insights into potential issues affecting its performance. Understanding the patterns of failure can help identify and address underlying problems, ensuring better reliability and performance for this particular resource. So to look further, I'm clicking the count of check availability here. So here we have a useful feature called related log templates. Yes. So often troubleshooting real-time application issues involves comparing logs from different sources. However, opening multiple tabs for each log type and tracing the exact line of an issue requires a lot of manual work. This is where the related log template feature comes in handy, where you can compare multiple fields in one log type. Here, for example, here it is IAS access logs with another log type, Windows event logs, by creating a template. Actually, you can use the Windows event logs to see the actual exception trees. I have already created a template, so I'm just clicking this here. So it correlates IAS access logs with the Windows event logs. So you can see the exact error details here. So associated with a 500 status code. So by following these steps, you can use IAS access logs as a valuable resource to diagnose and resolve HTTP 500 errors effectively. Now, returning to the earlier question about whether the metrics from IAS server monitoring are adequate or if you need more insights to uncover issues. I hope you have an answer now. So it's important to remember that each request made to an IAS web server generates a log event. Only through logs, you can pinpoint individual instances of slowness and failure. On connecting the dots, IAS server monitoring generally tracks the overall health and performance of the IAS server. In contrast, IAS logs monitoring focuses specifically on analyzing the logs generated by the IAS server to identify patterns, troubleshoot issues, and gather insights about user behavior and system performance. All right, let's head back to the summary page again and dive into the response time stats. This will tell us how well our transactions are doing, both the positive and negative aspects, including any areas that may be slower. So let's check this data and find out which request is taking more seconds to complete. Now you can observe that this particular request had a longer processing time. Analyzing such instances provides valuable insights into the factors affecting response time, helping you pinpoint issues, optimize performance, and enhance the overall efficiency of your web server. Also, if you want to see the exact trace details that causes slowness, you can use our application performance monitoring solution to nail down the problem. Complementing log management is an application performance monitoring solution that can consolidate the available access log information and correlate it well with information available in each component level, like the database calls, cache hits, and external HTTP requests, etc., to identify issues and their root causes instantly. So I'm looking into the payment processing request because payment transactions are quite important to complete the booking. So to check the trace details for this transaction in APM, I'm going to the transactions tab in APM and searching for this particular transaction. I'm clicking here, I'm clicking the reason 5 traces. You can see the 5 reason traces here, and I'm clicking the reason 5 traces. And here you can see the exact trace details, the slowest method calls, and their counts. So this enables developers to explore these methods for performance corrections and optimizations. So you can follow these steps and make the most of your IAS access logs and traces to pinpoint and address slowness issues more efficiently. Um, all right, so far we have seen how to troubleshoot web server slowness and failure using server metrics, traces, and logs. Further, let's see a few useful queries that you can perform on IAS access logs using query language. The query language is an easy to understand language search to filter out invalid values. It has a rich set of syntax that includes various supported operators, numeric operators, and string operators. First, let's see a DDoS attack. So if you notice repeated requests from a specific client IP with a status code 400 in your IAS access logs, it could indicate a potential issue. This status code typically signifies that the server did not understand the request. To address this, you need to investigate the source and look into the client IP making these requests. It might be a misconfigured client or a potential security threat. Based on comprehensive analysis, you can adjust firewall rules to block or filter traffic from the suspicious IP if necessary. So the next query is finding the performance for your request. For that, I'm navigating to the logs tab. Choosing IAS access logs here. I'm going for the last time. Yes. I'm going for this query. So you can find the performance of your request using various aggregation metrics and IAS access logs. This allows you to calculate the average response time, identify the longest or shortest response times, and understand the overall distribution of request processing duration. So using max time taken is advantageous, because this metric reveals the maximum time taken for any single request, offering valuable insights not always captured by the average response time. So let's see the next query. So the next query is finding the daily count of failed requests within HTTP status code of 500. So if you want to figure out how often your server is throwing a 500 error, you can use a time slice query. What it does is break down all that log data into daily intervals and then add up how many times you got hit with that 500 status code each day. This provides a structured and organized way to understand the frequency of failed requests over time. So next, let's move on to the next query. Yeah. So if you want to understand how your web server is handling the user requests each day, you can just run this query. This query groups requests by the status code and breaks things down day by day. It's like organizing your log data into daily chunks and counting how many times each status code shows up in those chunks. See, for example, you can see a sudden spike in the final status code on this day here, on December 6th, on here, and also here. So this way, you get a clear picture of how different requests are done every day. Let's move on to the next query. The next query compares the occurrences of IAS access log entries with a status code of 400 or higher in the logs of the past 7 days. So this analysis helps in understanding whether there are any significant changes or trends in the failure rate of requests between 2 weeks. For example, you might want to know the failure rate has gone up or down compared to last week. So it's a handy way to identify patterns, detect anomalies, and get a feel of how your web server is performing and how users are experiencing it. And the next query. Yes. The next query is figuring out the time taken for 95% of the requests in your IAS access log. So the 95th percentile is a statistical measure that indicates the value below which 95% of the data falls. In this case, it refers to the time taken values of the request. This analysis is crucial for understanding the typical behavior of request processing time. So the 95th percentile is often used as a performance indicator. It helps identify outliers and provides a more robust measure than averages, especially in scenarios where a few requests might take significantly longer to process. All right, there are many more combinations you can perform using query language search. So I will stop here and now let's explore the extensive searching features in app logs that help you with log analysis. First one is a show query help. If you're looking for instant suggestions on query syntax, click this icon. This will suggest a few basic queries and advanced queries based on the chosen log type. Next is the share icon. You can share or download your search results in PDF or CSV format. And next is the saved search. You can also save your search queries so they will be readily available the next time you need to perform the search. And you can access your recent and served searches here using this icon. Next is the date picker. You can search your logs easily by providing a relative and absolute time period in the date picker. To exclude log during maintenance window, you can use this option, exclude time period option. Next is the chart options. You have various chart options like line chart, area chart, and bar chart to visualize your log events effectively. And next is the log collection errors. So if you encounter issues with log uploads, you can always go and check the log collection errors. Next is a view log usage summary. You can view your daily and overall log consumption using the view log usage summary option to evaluate usage patterns, manage logs, and purchase add-ons accordingly. And next is the server metrics. So you can view the server metrics at the time when the current log line is received by clicking the monitor name here. Next is the discovered log types. Here you can view all the log types discovered from your infrastructure. To add them for monitoring, you can just select the log type and start collecting the logs. And next is the add log type option. AppLog supports over 100 log types by default. That includes cloud logs such as Azure, AWS, and GCP, frameworks, languages, databases, web servers, containers, and other categories. So if a log type is not supported out of the box, you can also create a custom log type. Next is the dashboard. You can click the dashboard view icon to view the log results as widgets on a dashboard. AppLogs creates an exclusive dashboard for every log type and shows a set of default widgets on the dashboard. You can also edit the dashboard using the drag and drop dynamic widget to build customized views. Next is the alerts. AppLogs will create system-generated default alerts for some log types. For example, for IES access logs, AppLogs will create system-generated default alerts for slow request, access log 500 errors, and 404 errors. You can also create custom alerts that allow you to set thresholds and send alerts about critical issues to your predefined user alert groups. You can also associate your monitor with your pre-configured third-party services. Additionally, you can resolve common issues using IT automation. So now that we have explored the intricacies of IAS log monitoring, let's recap what we have learned. So far, we have covered the ins and outs of IAS log monitoring to boost your web server performance. We explored challenges, discussed key metrics, and highlighted the roles of logs and troubleshooting. Having a log management tool that can integrate well with metrics and traces will be a great boost to the DevOps productivity that Site24 Cross7 offers. With this, we have come to the end of a session. So talking about coordination, is your organization using Slack, Jira, or Microsoft Teams? Site24 Cross7 integrates with all major collaboration tools to route notifications through them. The list doesn't end here. We keep adding them based on customer needs. So if you want to add yours to the list, just drop a post on Site 24/7 community. We'll have it done for you. More than 13,000 customers trust Site 24/7 to obtain transparency and reduce the MTTR for the IT environment. It is secure, powerful, agile, and scalable. Site 24/7 offers mobile and desktop support and supports monitoring from global locations. You also get a 30-day free trial. We have separate pricing plans for MSP customers, so contact us if you think Site 24/7 would be the best fit for you. Site 24/7 complies with all the major security standards as it undergoes an industry standard audit every year, where an evaluation of the design and operative effectiveness is diligently done. So, ready to get started? Create an account now in Site 24/7 and rest your monitoring worries on us. Monitoring and connecting with us both are simple. Our expert team is always at your disposal when, where, and how you need them. So the floor is now open for questions. Please enter them in the text box shown on the screen. So thank you for being here today. Hope you found this webinar to be informative and interesting. Please visit our webinar page to view the upcoming webinars. We look forward to seeing you in other session as well. Thank you for joining.